Alright there guys, I'm back here with another video of another research chemical that I recently got my hands on. I just fancied a bit of a different change recently, basically because I'd done some ketamine maybe like a month or 2 months ago, and I was feeling maybe some sort of like alternative, something else that I might be interested in doing. So I was looking at like dissociatives, anesthetics, just anything which is similar to ketamine that is on the legal high market. Well, not the legal high market, but the research chemical market. I actually found something. I found Ephenidine. You see, I'll just show you that. There you go. Excuse my hands are a bit dirty. I'm a night shift worker and I do like a really shit job. Anyway, so this Ephenidine, basically, I read a little bit on it. By the way, this is roughly, I don't know, this is probably about 4G, which is quite a lot actually. You don't really need a lot of this, it's pretty fucking brutal. It's basically an anaesthetic, so it's like a sedative sort of thing, but it's got psychedelic properties. It's kind of like ketamine, plus like you're about to go under an operation at a hospital, which is, I mean, what you want to be fucking doing, trust me, it's fucking ridiculous. I don't advise actually taking this at all, but I did. Right, I'm just going to go through with it. Basically, it was about 11 o'clock in the evening and I had it. I tried it a couple of times. I thought I need a couple of little lines, but decided to drink it this time. And basically I've got these scales which are like really crap scales, so like not good at all. I would show them, but they're over there and I can't be asked to fucking move them. And there's this fucking, the scales are only like 0.2 or like 0. Basically they only measure to to like 1 decimal point, I think. So it literally goes 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, all the way up to 1 gram, so to 1 decimal point. So if you were to measure like larger amounts or anything like that, you wouldn't be able to. Sorry, if you were to measure smaller amounts, you wouldn't be able to. So obviously this is active at maybe 50, maybe like, yeah, 50 milligrams, and I like forgot to check the dosages, so I just went and straight up tried to scale it up, and I scaled roughly 0.2, I think, yeah, 0.2, something like that. By accident, might have gone over it. Literally, the scale went from 0.0 to 0.2, just went boink. And me being stupid, thinking, yeah, that's probably about right. I definitely like should not have done that much straight away. What was it? It's fucking called Ephenidine. Yeah, I'm just gonna show you one more time. Ephenidine. Yeah, some sketchy shit. And I was drinking it in like some warm tea, and I was like, yeah, just knock this back. I'm just gonna have like, I was watching Ghost in the Shell, which is like this anime, and I was like, yeah, this is sweet. Like, just like not really feeling the effects, but just feeling a bit more like, oh, I'm quite cozy, just chilled out, and it's like quiet evening. No one was about, apart from my dad. I think my dad was asleep or something, so I was just like, yeah, I'll just do that. This is pretty nice. And like an hour in, but when I was drinking it, it was super bitter. Like this tastes fucking really bitter. It's an awful motherfucking taste. Like, it feels like hospital. Like, it tasted like bitter, and it like smelled a little bit like hospital, but not only like a little bit, like dirty children's hospital. Oh, hospitals are so gross, so gross. Anyway, so the effects started coming on in an hour, and that's just me. Like, I was watching some anime on my TV just behind you, just behind the camera. And I was just like, yeah, getting really involved into it. Like, I just felt more emotionally sensitive to it. And yeah, no, that was good. The TV, like, just getting into the visuals and stuff. But it was only when I got off my bed and like moved towards the kitchen where like I noticed the slowness of like reality. Like I wasn't as sharp, I wasn't as on it, I wasn't just fucking smashing some fucking, my usual behaviour, just like scatting. I was just like, well, yeah, this is slowing down. Like things were like a bit more colourful, visual, and you kind of felt this sort of like heaviness in your body and in the movement around. It's the sort of the slow mo heavy sort of. If you were to smoke a little bit of indica, almost little selfie sticks moving around. Yeah, so basically the onset was good, and then literally, because I was feeling quite good, I was like, oh, maybe I'll do some more. I basically, it just got stronger and stronger and stronger, and I got to the point where I was like fucking basically incapacitated on my bed, like to the point where I was like, fucking what's going on? Like the dissociative kind of comes in from the side, like the colourful, like, gets so overwhelming that you begin to forget what is actually going on. Like I could make out what a bed was and like what a window was, but like objects started to become not irrelevant, but they started to become distant. Like the connection between the self and the object would be distorted. So dissociation is the correct word for this, naturally. And the anaesthetic was like but of the effects are similar to ketamine. Obviously, sleepy, drowsiness, like thoughts which are not really in your own control. So yeah, all of this was happening, and it was getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And no, I got to the point where I was like, fuck. I had to like jump on my floor and like do this weird fucking like, I thought I was like losing my mind completely, which I was, but it was so strong that I just couldn't handle it. So I was literally on the floor, and I was just doing this. I was like trying to get back into my body, and I was like fucking hey Macarena, like fucking, and then like doing some fucking. And I was like, yeah, this is way better. Like, this is some good things. Like, I'm getting back to it. Like, it felt like I was putting like blood back through my body, and, like, just getting proper involved, and like just, I could feel myself getting more alive. And I was like, yeah, yeah. And then I was just like, fucking, it was still getting stronger though. Like, I got to the point where just the walls just going, and eventually I got to the peak. Now this peak lasted for about 3 hours. Again, this is the point where it gets blurry, because I don't know whether I dosed again, and I'm not sure, because I remember getting out and like putting it in some more drink, thinking like, oh yeah, this will be right. And I remember scaling it, but I don't remember whether I drank it or not, because I was that fucked. So there might have been a chance I might have done another 200 milligrams, but basically the only way to explain the peak was I got back onto my bed. I couldn't listen to music because I was so fucked. Everything was just so overwhelming, and it's like I wanted to go to sleep, but there was something inside me which was like ridiculously awake, and like it was like counter-fighting the sort of, I could have just like knocked myself out and just been like, it would have been great, I just would have woken up, like probably dreamt a bit. But basically what I'd done is, you can't really call it K-hole, but Ephenidine, fucking Epheny K-holing, Epheny holing, I don't even know, I want to come up with a word. What is it? Fucking Epheny holes, I suppose. That sounds fucking gross, but it felt, so I basically K-holed, and the closed eye visual CEVs were phenomenal. They were like sketchy fucking landscapes with blue and black and brown lines. It was like watching it from like a bird's eye point of view, but not right from top, from a three-dimensional perspective. So you're up in the air in a corner of a box, sort of, and you're looking into the box, and in the box there was like these weird sort of like what were they? There were like blocks moving in and out of each other, almost like lock picks, like weird lock things that were just going, and it was all like coming together and like breaking apart, and like weird things were coming up, and this was just me like fucking like tripping really hard now. And I was just watching this stuff, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, there's some weird mechanism, like, trying to open up or close or trying to connect to itself. And so that was, it wasn't, so it was really nice. Like, that's probably the part that I enjoyed the most. Like, when I opened my eyes, it was like too much visual input, and like almost not having the capacity to understand what was going on around me. It was just like, and like the smell of fucking hospital was fucking all over the shop. But this K-hole thing was definitely the most interesting thing at the trip. That's probably why I would do it again. You had this trip which would last X amount of time. Obviously, time dilation, time again out the window, standard. Uh, and it was like, think about a bowling pin like stood upright. That's probably a bit better. I'm shaking around like a little leaf. I hate doing this to people. But think about like a bowling pin, and you know, if it knocks over that way, it can knock over any way, 360. It was like multiple Ephenidine holes at the same time. So I would go into that one, and I would come out, and I would then fall into sort of like a different K hole, well, a different Ephenidine hole. So it would just go bang into another, like, so I would come up, I would like be awake for maybe 30-40 seconds of like visual, and I'd be like, oh jeez, and then I'd just go out, bang into another trip for like X amount of time, and different things would be happening, and then I'd come up, bang into another one. It was literally just like permanent, I just want to call it K-holing or diff holing, or EPH holing. Sound like such a douche sometimes. Well, yeah. So basically, I'd done about maybe 8 or 9 of these fucking K-hole, fucking diff holes, just like permanently like coming up, going into another one, ouch, bang, back into another, into another one, into another one, into another one, into another one. I was like, bang, another K-hole, bang, 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 bang. And I was just like smashed into pieces, bruv. I was literally just like off my nut, like just everything just felt hospital-y, scatty, and I would do it again. I would do it again, but fucking hell, you just gotta be careful about how much to take, and just check the dosage, stuff like that. There's a couple of different sounding ones. There's like fucking methoxy, diphenidine, ephenidine, methoxy, ephenidine, diphenidine on its own. So there's like 4 or 5 different substances. You need to really, if you're going to pick up anything like this, you need to make sure you check the dosages and the names and link those two up together to get that working. And once you do that, obviously, yeah, you're kind of safe. Don't do what I did. Obviously, I definitely OD'd on it. Once again, can't help myself.